discussion because of a documentary that came up that got everyone talking, not only Ghanaians. It got the whole of Africa talking.
Are we talking about this again?
Yeah, we have to.
Isn't it a taboo for us to, as African women to even be sitting and talking about sex on TV?
No, it's not.
It's not?
Is it acceptable?
To me, it's acceptable.
Before they export to me.
It's always acceptable. It depends on
how you go about it. Yeah.
It depends on how you express yourself. I don't think.
Wait. I mean, she's allowed to talk about her sexual life.
Yes.
Openly.
What
is
are
she
you
not?
speaking of?
I'm asking. Oh, so the CNN interview with
What is that?
Moesha.
Are we going there?
Well, I just want to know because I want to understand.
For now.
I mean, if it were to be South Africa or Zimbabwe or Nigeria, would they have responded the same way Ghanaians responded?
Certainly.
They would have?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what something like that does, right? I'm going to try not to get too passionate, but it disrespects every other woman who is doing absolutely everything within their power to make things come together.
Okay.
And I said this earlier in the morning when I was on radio. I sat in traffic in Accra and I saw numerous women selling plantain chips, selling boiled eggs. Are you telling me that those people don't have a choice? That they can't go and meet one man and all their problems will be sorted? They can. They have a choice. But it just frustrates me that the few people who do have a voice that's loud enough to be heard almost spit at the majority who are just trying so hard to make things come together.
Okay.
That's what upsets me, and that's a pan-African conversation. Whether you're in South Africa, listen, prostitution, as far as I'm concerned, is prostitution. It's the oldest profession, right? It's everywhere. But my thing is, let's not now celebrate it and put it on a pedestal and say, well, you know, this is the only way to survive.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
But then people are saying we're judging her too much. And that she has a right to speak
if she
the way she...
You see, Bella, I have an issue when personalities put themselves out there and then when people react, then they are made to be the bad guys. Listen, if you're going to put yourself out there, be ready for reactions. And also accept the fact that not all reactions are going to be the ones you'd love to hear.
She shook the table.
If that's the case, yeah.
and then fell.
You know?
If you want cheerleaders, then you go privately, you organize your girlfriends, they all come together and they all cheer for you. But if you're gonna go out there in a broader public, then be open for public scrutiny. And that is exactly what happened to Moesha. You see, with us, we have to understand the fact that there are certain things that are condemnable. And unfortunately, we live in a world that has order. We have a world order system. And it's required to control various sectors, including our personal lives. There's a reason why certain things are not allowed. And what she said on that platform is condemnable.
Okay.
However, I'm not against what she prefers as a woman sexually.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you get where I'm
get you.
going. For her to come out, in South Africa we have a culture that's the blesser culture.
What's
it's
that?
another way of saying sugar baby and sugar daddy.
Okay.
But the man is the blesser and the girl is the blessee. Who is receiving the blessings from the blesser. We have a lot of blessers, we have a lot of blessees.
Oh, really?
You know? Yeah, it's a culture, we all know about it, and we are worried. Where is our future going? Because right now the young girl is not aspiring to be more than the blessee. Because when they look out there, all I need to do to be a blessee is to wear a nice waist train, have the Instagram brows, the right weave.
What are the Instagram brows, by the way?
The brows on flick.
On flick.
To be a slay queen, in other words.
Yeah.
And then I can afford myself trips to Dubai and wherever on business class and the brand name bags and you name it, because under natural circumstances you take steps to get there. You're not just going to be a graduate student and automatically you fly to Dubai on business. With whose money? And so now that culture, that overnight success culture, is making a lot of us to now be lazy. Nobody wants to wait anymore. Nobody wants to put it. But like I said, Bella, it's a personal preference. If I choose, I want to use my sexuality, like I say, my thing, you know, the wings that fly. If I want to ride on this to fly and get to, to fly and get to places, that is my personal choice. But, that is my personal choice. But now I'm against me coming out in mainstream and influencing every other young lady and making them feel like they're lazy or they're behind or they're nothing because they're not using their, private part to make them fly.
Does it not prevent us from openly discussing sexual preference?
No, Bella, we can talk about our sexual preference.
Don't speak for anybody
Do you
else.
understand?
Speak for yourself.
Exactly.
That's
Speak
the
for
issue.
But this is going to prevent women from even speaking for themselves.
No, we can speak for ourselves, but like she said, she talked about platform.
Yeah.
She talked about platform. She talked about young girls watching this too. She talked about girls coming up
Social
too.
responsibility.
There are a lot of people watching this. Okay, there are a lot of people. I don't care how you get your money, but true, you're not the way you said it, and don't come and be, but that's the only way I gotta survive. That's the only way you have to be on your private jet. That's the only way you have to, buy the latest bag. That's the only way you have to be a slave queen on Instagram. That's not how you have to survive. Because yes, there are some prostitutes out there, but they are not even buying all those things or trying to be on the first class to Dubai or something. It's because of your greed. That is why you are where you are. Do you understand?
Okay.
Or that is why you are doing what you're doing, but do not generalize it.
But Krista, how are women viewed sexually in Ghana?
Well, you do it. You don't talk about it.
Okay.
That's just it. Everybody does it. We just don't discuss it. And
You mean sex or
sex, the intricacies of being
the
intimate,
transactional, the transactions.
And because of that, you're limiting how much you explore. You're limiting your intimacy with your partner. You're limiting the level of education and exposure you give your child or anyone that you influence.
That's true.
And when you have that limited, tunnel vision perspective, then you're going to keep certain barriers there for women for generations to come.
So we get taught about sex by our aunts.
Seriously?
But it's in preparation to marriage. They have it in Nigeria as well, like in Calabar. They have it.
just like
That's what
that
happens
too.
in the fattening room in
Yes,
the
the
north
fattening
there.
room.
So before you get married, let's say a week, 2 weeks to your ceremony. I mean, your aunties are there. They're teaching you how to take care of your skin so you look good for your husband.
Okay.
And, so you look good for your wedding day as well. And then they're also there teaching you about, when you're in the bedroom, these are some of the things that you'll
Wait,
be doing.
at what age do they
This
do
is
that?
no. This is as
when
the,
you're
let's say the
engaged,
week
the
going to
transition.
your
So that's
wedding.
what if you're 40 or
Exactly.
50 and
I
not
have a
getting
problem
married?
with that.
No, this is because the
Because
thing
in
is,
Ghana,
sex
they
is
do it,
it's supposed to be marital
in
contract.
certain areas. So they do it when you're young and when, to introduce you to puberty.
Ah, okay.
That's when it is. That's why I was asking what age.
I wish.
No, for us it's a marital, it's a premarital thing.
And that's
Like
the
get
problem
ready
I have.
to.
You have a problem with it?
Yes, I have a problem with that because I think it's very important that you teach your kids about sex very early. I'm going to use myself.
Cardi B will. Sorry.
Exactly. If you don't, Cardi B will.
Yeah.
And apart from that, if you don't, hey, they're hearing it everywhere. They're talking, they want to
South
explore
African,
it and everything. But for
I
me,
don't agree.
let me use myself as an example. Growing up in Togo, yes, I came from Nigeria, but I grew up in Togo, and the Togolese are a bit more free. So, like, my friends, when I go to their house, like, that's my best friend. Then when I go to her house, her mom can actually discuss sex with her and everything. I'm like,
But why?
but me, not like. I have never ever had that conversation with my
your
mom. I'm already having my period, but
What
nobody's telling
is
me.
a mom and daughter having about sex?
You need to.
But they
come
should. They
on.
should
I'm
be
having
there.
a boyfriend
about-
already.
No, teacher.
No,
You know what?
teacher.
But like
Wait,
the
no,
South
but I think-
African context, I don't agree with her.
I think you
because
need to.
What Ms. Vimbai just mentioned, it happens in our culture too, but it happens with the passage from being a girl to womanhood. So
Yeah.
it's not necessarily associated with
marriage.
you. There's a one that takes place before marriage, but that one is to prepare you to be a wife.
Yeah.
But the
But then
passage
there's
to
another-
womanhood prepares you to be a woman, which also includes sexuality. Now, I will not. I'm not even allowed to say what happens with those things because it's supposed to be our sacred secrets forever.
Okay.
And then when I do share them, I should share them with responsibility, because I could be sharing them with my dear friend Christy, who has absolutely no ambitions of ever being married or ever keeping a man, because you have to understand that most of these things are for the benefit of keeping your home. As a homemaker, as a woman. Now, if Christy has no ambitions of keeping a man, and Christy learns this sacred information, and my philandering husband
She'll maintain him
happens to
well.
meet happen to meet Christy at the Suya Junction somewhere on a Friday or Wache Junction on a Friday night, and Christy gets to have a hold of my. Do you know that is over with me? Because she has the weapons and the tools and the know-how of what you need to do to keep the eye here. So somebody like Christy has no business knowing that kind of information.
Every woman has a
right. No. Why
I say like it's important to teach your kids early. No, why I'm saying it's important because let me use the French setting as an example. The French countries are more liberal than English countries. In Togo or in any French country that I have been to, France, Cote d'Ivoire, they're having sex at the age of 15.
That's okay.
That's just sex. That's what you should teach them.
But that is sex.
So they don't make
I'm not
mistakes.
against sex education.
Okay.
But I'm talking of certain sacred things about, you know, the know-hows and how you do it.
Well, I'm talking about the education.
Basic education. I think if you categorize these, there should be information for the general public, and then some should really be exclusive and reserved for certain
Bimba, you don't agree?
I'm just, you know, I just think that